there's no violation of that.
Do you think that's a sign of you taking dark money?
Oh, no. I'm 100% legal tender. Thank you.
AOC denying the dark money allegations leveled against her in a federal elections complaint.
A conservative watchdog group is accusing the freshman congresswoman and her chief of staff of nearly $1 million off the books operation.
Ned Ryan is the founder and CEO of American Majority, which specializes in grassroots campaigning. Ned, you're the perfect person to ask about this. Explain exactly what is alleged here, and is this an easy mistake to make?
I got to tell you guys, this is either incredibly stupid and naive or it's deeply calculated, neither of which are good scenarios. You cannot have a candidate and her chief of staff controlling a PAC that is working on behalf of electing that candidate. I mean, this is campaign 101. You cannot coordinate at any level. And I think there's a couple different issues here at stake. If there was improper disclosure of independent expenditures, if there were illegal in-kind contributions to benefit the campaign, if there was potential coordination, those are all fines. They will definitely get fined on those things. I think the biggest question is, did AOC and her chief of staff willingly and knowingly try to hide their control of this PAC? And if they did so, that's when you start to talk about jail time.
Yeah, but even if it was a mistake, just for argument's sake, is that still okay?
No, it's not okay. They're going to get fined. I mean, if this is provable and it looks very suspicious, again, with these potential in-kind contributions and potential coordination. I mean, Jillian, this is campaign 101. You cannot coordinate because of the limits in federal elections with PACs versus campaigns. I'm staggered to think that someone thought that a candidate could be on the actual board of the PAC and her chief of staff as it's working on behalf of that campaign. And the thing that's really suspicious to me, guys, they took control of this PAC in December of 2017. They did not lose control of it until August of 2018. In between, AOC happens to win her primary. And again, in that district, if you win the primary, you basically won the general. Very suspicious timing.
Yeah, the primary was the whole thing. Once you got the nomination, you were good to go. What do you think the defense will be, Ned? In their minds right now, how are they going to concoct a defense to this? What are they going to say?
Well, I mean, if it's naivety and stupidity, I have a hard time believing the FEC is going to look at that and go, you know, we're not talking insignificant amounts of money, again, almost $1 million. But I think the thing that's interesting, again, to me, Rob, is this. We have AOC, who's just sanctimoniously moralizing to us about climate change, and then she has this massive carbon footprint, and then she's lectured us on dark money and politics, and it looks like she is potentially, and I think probably is, guilty of doing the exact same thing. She's just another sanctimonious hypocrite.
Okay, so let's talk about the Green New Deal, which we know would potentially eliminate air travel. And just listen to this soundbite of a reporter asking Alexandria Ocasio Cortez why she was flying.
Can you tell me why you were flying today?
Oh, yeah, because I needed to go to work.
All right, and then what is the difference between you taking a flight and a train, though?
Excuse me, sir.
A couple hours of my constituents' time.
Presuming she was going from New York to D.C., there are trains that do that.
Well, I mean, listen, guys, if the world's going to end in 12 years, you have to maximize every hour, okay? Every hour counts. But for someone that wants to outlaw planes, she sure seems to like them a lot. I mean, I saw a statistic. I think she's 7 times more likely to use a plane than a train. I probably use trains more coming from D.C. to New York City. But again, this just goes back to these global change Puritans. They want to virtue signal. They want to be emotionally right. But, you know, what's a few million cubic tons of CO2 between friends as long as your heart's in the right place? Again, it goes back to the hypocrisy not only of AOC, but these others that are jet-setting around the world, lecturing us on man-made global warming, and they are guilty of the exact same behavior that they are lecturing us on.
And what is the straight shot to D.C. on a train from New York? I've taken that train. It's 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah.
You go to the airport, you go through security, you got to get there an hour, hour and a half before the flight. It takes the same amount of time. I mean, it's unbelievable that she would give that kind of ammunition to the other side, because that is just the best ammunition you can get.
Now, Rob, I usually choose to take either the train or I drive, because you're right. Going to the airport, parking, going through security, hopping on the plane, all that, it's just as much time, and it's much more of a pain to actually do that. Where, you know, it's 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes, I think, on the Acela, a little bit longer on the Nor'easter. But this is one of the things where it's just, again, you have to be kidding me. That's your best excuse. I'm trying to save a couple hours for constituents' time. It doesn't pass the smell test. Again, the other thing I'd point out, too, I think she used $30,000 on Uber and only $8,000 on subway tickets. When I come to New York, I choose to use the subway because it's more convenient and it gets me faster and saves me on traffic time.
It boggles the mind. In a city connected by trains, she takes cars.
And let's not forget, you can't take all of your liquids if you fly. So there's that. Ned, thank you.
Of course.
Thanks, guys.